goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Sweet, that intro is my new favorite band. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that you might be able to play that song live today.
You heard correctly. Yes.
Excellent. So,
Good enough for Robin.
I don't know when I rock out here on your next favorite band show.
and listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band.
Phil, you weren't supposed to make me get all... God almighty,
But this
Phil.
is why we do it.
Like, seriously. I gotta gather myself. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar.
Day 4 of Musikfest 2025 daily live streams from Godfrey Daniel. Today we have Abigail Fierce and Bellwether Ritual.
Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be your next favorite band.
Hello everybody, welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese, sitting here with guest co-host
Abigail Fierce. Hi.
and you are listening to your
Next
favorite
band.
Nice. We got through it. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, day 4. Yet another day of kind of perfect weather. It got like a touch warmer today, but now you're like normal August weather.
Yes.
Still no rain in sight. And just incredible. Can't believe it. I mean, it's just been an awesome fest so far. A couple of pieces of good news is I've been pacing myself. I don't feel out of gas. I feel very good about things.
That's
the walking
good. That's
hasn't
good.
wrecked me. I paid for parking today, so take that, Bethlehem Parking Authority. I got a ticket earlier this week because I am always so excited to do the show. I like park and I come in and I got do all the stuff to get ready. I mean, most days we're actually starting late, which makes me feel awful.
I think that's one thing everyone's on the same page about, that everyone hates parking.
But the parking authority is like, they're aggressive. I gotta be
Yeah.
honest with you. So hopefully they will leave me alone today. I was actually half tempted. I wanted to get lights on, air conditioning running, so I did that and went back. I was half expecting to see a ticket on my in 90 seconds.
Right, yeah.
But hopefully, and good news is no, and I can see it from here. So anyway, we are going to banter a little bit about the music of the day, then we'll chat about you. It's going to work perfectly because what we'll do is we'll get to your entry of the picks of the plots.
All right.
And then we'll pause there to chat.
Sounds good.
Sounds like you might be able to play live today.
Yeah.
And then we got to get you off to the Platzes. Because you are performing at 5 o'clock today.
Yes.
But let's just start with the general stuff. We were chatting a little bit about this before going live. Your first time in Pennsylvania, let alone at Musikfest.
My first Musikfest, first time in Pennsylvania. Super excited to be here.
Yeah.
Everyone's super nice so far. Definitely, I live in
Well,
LA.
it's a day 1 reprieve. Let's see what we do today.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I'm just
well,
kidding.
I live in LA, so people are they don't look at you, you know?
But no, it is true. It is a very kind festival. We bring it up a lot, but
yes.
like it's so clean and safe and.
When everyone's
like,
here for the music, so you can
everyone's here
tell
for the music.
They are interested in music. They want to see and listen.
All age
you know?
ranges too. Like it's not like it's any one kind of demographic or age range or whatever. So it's really really special. I'm glad you're enjoying. And then you were even just enjoying the aesthetic Bethlehem of it all.
Because I'm staying really close to like the steel stacks and like there's a really cool just building right there next to it. I like that kind of like grungy feel. I kind of try to have those like backgrounds in my music videos.
Urban Decay.
Sometimes, Urban Decay kind of thing. So that one was really cool.
Yeah, totally. Maybe come back and shoot a video here.
Yeah, right. There was a guy last night after my show telling me Bon Jovi shot a video.
Yes. Yeah, there's that. There's like The Transformers movie had a scene here. Yeah,
I know. I was driving by and I'm like, this looks like the intro of a movie, you know, like just that.
If you get a chance, it's called the Hoover Mason Trestle, I believe it is. Whatever. It's like a thing that you can go up a couple stories and around those steel stacks, basically behind that big stage.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
So the stairs would be far to the left or far to the right. Maybe it's not open. I don't remember seeing anybody up there while this. It usually is open during the festival. Anyway, if you get a chance to walk up there, it's just really neat because one, you get a different view of the crowd and the stage. But what you do get is a peek into the stacks.
Cool.
And you can look in there, and again, I always wondered how like a scene of The Walking Dead was never shot in there. Because when you look at it all, it's like this. Not only is the steel rusting out and like turning to this dust, if you will, but there's trees growing in stuff and whatnot. It's like stuff you couldn't create.
Even
it does.
Though it's current, you know.
Yeah.
Because I guess in some ways it is.
It is dystopian.
It's the dystopian 50s, I guess.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And today you perform twice that you'll be able to get to perform. It's a rare double dip where you're on north side and south side.
Really?
A lot of times a double performance, you're kind of on one side or the other, so they're expecting you to travel. But you are up for the task. But what I was going to get at there is there's some 1700s buildings on the north side.
Okay.
So it's been just named a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Cool.
Yeah, so Bethlehem's got a lot to offer.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, I like to see all the, it just looks cool.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get to the picks of the Platzes. You'll remain my guest co-host.
All right.
And then at a certain point, we'll convert you to guest. Here are the picks of the day.
All right.
We always do 5. One that we kind of say, hey, don't miss this one. And then 4 others that say, while you're down here, catch these other ones as well. And it's just purely an offer to people who maybe just don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
That they're just simply saying, hey, I'm coming down. There's 15 stages to check out, available from noon to midnight. What should I go do? So the fave of the day, this was one of the bands that I was had never heard of before the lineup came out. And then as we were prepping for the different bands, their music just really jumped out at me. Gadan, they are... actually, I won't even get into it. When we get to their music, I'll get into it. Then Fig for a Kiss... they're Stadplatz at 7:30. Fig for a Kiss on Plaza Tropical at 5:30. Billy Bauer on Main Street at 6. Abigail Fierce. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lagerplatz at 5. Lyric Platz at 7.
Yep. North side and south side.
North side, south side. That parking pass is going to come in handy for you today. And then Bellwether Ritual. Town Square stage at 11 p.m. Which is a great spot, and they're going to come on in a few. That 11 o'clock time frame is a really fun time because it's the only plots left. All the stages are done at 11, and then this stage is the one that goes from 11 to 12. So whoever is like out,
kind of get the overflow.
Who's like all in on the fest that day. Right. Yeah, there's a little bit of overflow. There's a little bit of the headliner is letting out, and they do this also to kind of be a little bit of a distraction to maybe help with traffic getting out of the parking lots and stuff.
That's great.
So that's one of the reasons. But the other thing that they seem to do with it is make it a very the bookings of that stage are always someone who's extremely unique, interesting, a little bit edgier, like, it is later on in the nighttime. Yeah, so it's a very cool.
Not for the 6-year-olds.
It is probably not for the 6-year-old. But that's the nice part about the fest is almost all of it is available for that.
Something for everyone.
There's the picks as we get into the music. So Gadan, let me give you a little bit of a peek on this. So the music is Celtic.
Oh, cool.
Mixed with Appalachian music.
I love that.
Performed by 4 Italians.
You lost me there.
Right. That's why I can't wait. So the sound is amazing. It's what you were very familiar with, but it's 4 Italians formed. They did then bring in a 5th, who is an Irish bloke. He actually is part of a different band called We Banjo 3 that we've had on the show before. We've seen at Musikfest before, and he's an incredible, like really the traditional clawhammer banjo player.
Oh, wow.
So they brought his sound in, and then it's him combined with the other 4. And just take a listen. This is actually a set of music that's, even they labeled it old-timey set. So here's a little peek into the Gadan sound with their old-timey set.
Right.
Like you said, you can just listen to stuff like this all the time.
Right, beautiful.
And so, Enda Ska Hill, he's the person who's the Irishman. He's the gray-haired one off to the right there. And then, like you said, fiddle, mandolin, an acoustic guitar, and I think it's another banjo that's played in a more current style rather than the traditional style.
Yeah, he's kind of strumming a little bit.
Yep. But they write their own music too that has lyrics and stuff. So
cool.
They're singing and stuff. This is just more of that very throwback type of sound, and it is so cool.
My grandmother is Irish, and she loved listening to Celtic music. So and she lived in Appalachia, so growing up, I kind of heard a lot of the a lot of that.
So you can recommend a new band to
Yeah, right.
Times here, and I have even some other breaking news on Gadan as well. I hope I'm saying it right. I suppose there's a couple different ways you can say it, but Gadan. They're playing today, fourth day of the festival too, 7:30 p.m. on Platz. So before I shut their music down, I'll also share this. So they are also playing tomorrow. So they're here overnight, kind of like you. Like you're here, you have an overnight, you have another day, and you can do the show.
Yeah.
I reached out to them, and they were like, "Oh, we'd love to do it, but we would have to do it on Tuesday because we're coming in from, they came to the States and then they've been touring around a good bit. So they're like, we're going to pretty much roll in. We'll be exhausted and we're going to go on stage. And then we're going to really just go to bed. And then the next day, though, we'll already be in town. So it would be a better day for interviewing. So as far as I understand it, for one, they just confirmed that they are coming on tomorrow.
Oh.
All 5 of them, and they're willing to play.
Oh my gosh.
So I said, you know what? We're not going to do it as our normal 3 o'clock slot with multiple guests. Let's have you. So I'm going to go live twice tomorrow. 1:30 with just them. And we'll dedicate, we'll chat with all 5 of them, get their backstories, have them perform if they're still willing to do that. I was always amazed when someone will do it like you. Like, you're here, you're performing. I'm always worried about, save your voice or all those kind of things. Yeah. But, it's a fascinating thing, and we just love when it happens. So the fact that they would still be able to do that would be very cool. But even if we just chat, it would be awesome because we're going to get to see them perform today. And if you can't see it today and you do want to check it out. They'll be on tomorrow. Same time, 7:30, but on Southside. They'll be on the America Platz stage tomorrow. But today, Platz. So the next band we were going to highlight is Fig for a Kiss. Let's just go back to the list here. Fig for a Kiss, Billy Bauer, and then Abigail. So Fig for a Kiss, right in the same pocket. So this is what's nice, too.
See a shamrock.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, you're already, you're on top of it. And since they're on at 5:30, you can go Fig for a Kiss, Gadan. If you are all in on the Irish sound, take a listen to Fig for a Kiss and their song, Jig of Slurs. If it's a different name, Lucas, this is a local band. This is a based in Bethlehem band. Lucas plays a lot of different instruments and is in a great way nerdy about it. Oh, yeah. So if you ask him what that is, it might have a totally different name.
Yeah, it looks a little different. I can't quite see the shadowing's a little dark.
Yep.
But nice sound.
Yeah. And obviously, it's super cool that we have all these different genre styles represented in our local music community. But they're also incredibly awesome people. They were actually part of one of our December Winter Wonder Jams. They were one of our musical performers for one.
I bet that fiddle players are tired after performance because it seems like a lot of like drums, a lot of physical movement. Because like guitar, is hard, but you're still all kind of right here. You're not like...
Yeah, totally. I'm sure. And even the lungs that it takes to do with
the bagpipes.
Whether it's bagpipes or something else. Fig for a Kiss, like we said, 5:30. Plaza Tropical, which is north side in the mix of everything. It's really cool. Looking forward to it.
Is he doing some sort of accordion thing with the back? I can't quite see.
I think it's what Hope pumps the air in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then it's a pipe of some sort. Again, it very well could be. Who knows? We'll have to ask Lucas. So enjoy Fig for a Kiss and Gadan. That sounds like we're doing just a Celtic music review at this point. So let's change it up a little bit. So Billy Bauer, another local. Billy Bauer is an excellent performer, singer, songwriter. Has a very Dave Matthews sound. He, in fact, does a Dave Matthews tribute. But today he's performing, and it just has his name. So normally it's him and his fiddle player, Chris. And so I actually have a recording from a songwriters round, actually. So you were asking about those in this room. He did one. It was actually at Arts Quest, but I picked this one because I thought it was a good representation of more what you'd hear today when he plays with the full band, and certainly when he plays with the Dave Matthews tribute. It's 4 to 6 piece band, and it's got that more rock type sound. This is most likely a much more of the style you'll hear today, and this is a beautiful song that he wrote, and it also. He tells a story about Bethlehem because the song is about his father. It's called So I Love. And I just thought it was a neat thing to share, to hear this little bit of backstory and then some of the way that Billy is just a heck of a guitar player.
Thank you guys for hanging. Thank you very much, Bobby. Thank you for joining me. Y'all are amazing. Dave is a trumpet player. Show off. To be able to assassinate a guitar like that. He plays guitar. Arts Quest is awesome. This is a song about my dad. My dad put in many years at the Bethlehem Steel, and I guess piggybacking off of your discussion of love, I believe love and gratitude in particular are the two most powerful energies, and I do believe in something else that we don't know of, but there's definitely good energy and there's definitely negative energy in the world, and I'm not sure how much of the negative energy is just there always, or is it taught, is it learned? Probably, I guess. But this place in particular, since the Bethlehem Steel, without people like my dad and all those people that built that place, the world wouldn't be what it is without the Bethlehem Steel, and it shot down evil and killed evil in Nazi Germany. And after that collapsed, the Lehigh Valley had a tremendous loss. America had a tremendous loss. And Arts Quest came. And this place is full of good energy again. And Arts Quest came to me years ago to start a songwriter circle on Thursday nights, essentially giving maybe younger kids hope, or I try to steer them as best as I can, be like, hey man, keep gigging, keep working on this. And it gives them hope to be a musician, and this place is such an important place to our community. So with you all being here and supporting us, you're also supporting your community, and just a wonderful thing. So thank you guys very much. Thank you all. This is called So I Love. I don't really talk about my songs that much because maybe they mean something to you, I don't know. I don't want to warp your perception. I don't know who I've become, maybe that's broken. Not only love I'm on the screen. No one more you need. My mind over again, scars of the past show their heads in
Hear the Dave Matthews.
Yeah, right?
The open strumming.
Yeah.
Beautiful too.
And then again, like, he has a fiddle player that is like his lead guitarist is this fiddle player.
That's interesting.
And so it
Cool,
taps
yeah.
into a lot of that Dave sound as well. So obviously it's not here because he was at this singer-songwriter round. But it's what you'll hear today most likely. Yeah. And I love that story that he told. It's funny how he mentions there, I don't really tell stories about my songs. We were having everybody play 4 songs, but he in particular had so much to share as backstory that he only got to play 3 songs, which broke my heart. But it was so interesting and cool. Like, he has a song about a ghost. Like, he has another song. Anyway, and he has such a funny demeanor about him. Like, he's sitting there talking about.
People like to hear that as an audience member. I like to be talking to.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the whole point of those types of things. So he's also, you could probably pick it up there, one of the nicest guys around. So like, if you enjoy his music and you get to go see down, another great thing about Musikfest, it's very accessible. Mm-hmm. So like, after they're done, they'll typically be standing there. Obviously, if they have a merch table, go right up to him and start chatting. He's such a nice guy. And we're up to Abigail Fierce. How about that? So we're going to play this here. This is often the way like our show works is we play a song by the artist to lead into the interview. So I'm going to feel right at home. Hopefully you do.
Sounds good.
And I also want to hear about this song in particular because I think it has such an interesting story. But we'll bring it up first here. This is your track called Pitch Dark by Abigail Fierce.
Thunderstorm, ran fast, struggled through the door. You said it's really something out there. I gave you a shy smile and brushed the moment away like I brushed the rain off my coat. And as I turned to go, you said, your hair looks good wet. Say you should see it dry. I looked up and I met your eye.
It was good to have a spoken lyric in the middle of a beautifully sung song.
Yes, I love to do that. I like to stop in songs too and launch back in. And when I first started writing, I was told a lot by people like, don't do that. And I'm like, no, it gives it personality.
Absolutely.
It's my favorite thing.
I find it so interesting when any creative is starting out and someone tries to tell them not to do something that they're inspired to do. Like, there's certain things you would maybe want to coach or mentor around, but not full-blown creativity.
Yeah.
It seems weird to me.
I started writing when I was 12, and being in LA, it was kind of, you would meet a lot of people that would be, that would promote themselves as mentors.
Sure.
And it's kind of like, you have to be careful what people
definitely
like.
do. Especially as a young lady, to be honest. Like, I do think there's an element to that.
Sure. But
that's come up in the show more times than I would care to.
Right, no, that's all over the music industry. But I mean, even men and women just telling you things because maybe they didn't make it and they're just, saying things that just aren't necessarily relevant. You have to take everything with a grain of salt and kind of you have to find your own path ultimately and find what works for you.
And any mentor or coach is going to want to take the artistry you're trying to create and simply push it, not change it.
Yes. Well,
and a lot of them want to try and change it.
Yeah, they have their set idea of what they think
is the formula for success.
Yeah, and it's like you have to do this, but you have to hone what you have yourself. You have to listen to things you like and see, what you want to do, not just, listen to whatever someone has to say.
Yeah. So tell us about this track in particular, Pitch Dark.
So this song, in my interviews, I always say inspiration is everywhere and nowhere at once. That's
an interesting statement.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of my songs come from either a full experience or there's a moment of truth in all my songs. Like if there's something I experience and then I might kind of become a writer and blow it into a full-blown thing. And Pitch Dark is kind of one of those ones. I mean, there's, as the guy was talking about in his last video, there's a lot of negativity, in this world. I was kind of going through a rough time, and I went out to dinner with my mom, and we ran, and it was raining when we got outside of the restaurant. We were parked far on the back of the parking lot, and we ran and had fun kind of running through the rain out there. And I thought, that's just really interesting. And on the way home, I just started thinking, pouring rain, loud thunderstorm. And then I just kind of turned it into a whole different thing.
Sure, right.
But it's just it's kind of just, you kind of take one little positive moment and turn it into something else. And I think that's another interesting thing that I think especially young people need to hear for sure, is that we see all these romantic things on TV and all these crazy stories, like even this song, and it's kind of like that's not exactly what life is. Keep that in mind. You're not going to be ecstatic all the time. You don't need to expect life to be amazing 100% of the time to be a happy person. You can just find moments of joy and
100%
the mundaneness.
Yeah, and I think the other thing you're tapping into as a creative and as an artist is that was probably happening somewhere in the world in that moment.
Yeah,
and
right. I know that's a fun thing.
Yeah,
that was kind of the thing with this is the first song I ever released actually, and I can tell in the video quality because I make all the videos myself. I don't pay someone, what I mean? So I can tell it's a little not as good as they are now. But it was the first song I released, and it just kind of felt like the moment I wrote it, it just kind of felt like this is a special one. Totally. This is one that I want out there. And my first 3 songs, I ended up releasing them as singles, but I kind of had the idea of wanted to put them all together because there was a song about falling in love, there was a song about crying on your bedroom floor, there was a song about breaking up, and it was kind of like these are all the things that are happening in the world at the same time with someone, And
it's extremely, and it's like, it is hard to differentiate yourself with just an acoustic guitar in your hand.
Yes,
but to be able to do that is really impressive.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, I think that's kind of the trick there. But it definitely comes down to the storytelling, the songwriting, the still finding a more new and interesting way to kind of play.
I love lyrics, and that's kind of where I always start with the story, and then especially going into the studio. I'm very hands-on in the studio, so I play all the instruments on my tracks except for drums.
Got it.
And then on the song I'm going to play for you, there's a beautiful cello on that one that I did not play, but everything else I play, like all the guitars, so I'm super hands-on of like
That's awesome.
trying to get all this figuring out the sound I want, because like I have a song called Daphne. When I went in, I thought that would be maybe more of like an indie acoustic maybe song, and then it turned into like full-blown rock.
It does.
And it was on...
I almost picked that one, but again, you being an acoustic performer, I wanted to pick something that was a little bit closer to what people would come hear.
Yeah,
but you definitely need to check that track out because it's super fun.
Thank you. Yeah, and it got written up by a couple like metal blogs.
That's awesome.
And like compared to Hole, which is my favorite band, Courtney Love, and I'm like, it's just funny because it's like, that was not.
Yeah, it had a little bit of Liz Phair to it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, so I was kind of going to the studio. It sometimes changes what you want. You know, you're playing around and you're like, oh, that's really sick. Turn that fuzz up. You know what I mean? Like, okay, and then and then I get taken off into that direction.
Yeah.
But
and the other thing that's great too is that it's songs about a girl. Like, you know, there's not necessarily this fear or stigma or whatever. It's just like you're doing that, and it's like that's awesome too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely, for sure. And the other thing that I wanted to make sure we touch on is if anybody is recognizing you, or wait, she seems familiar. You're a rather accomplished actress as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I was on Hulu's Love Victor. I played a character named Wendy. The fans they made like fan art of me, and that was like the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. I was on an episode of NBC's This Is Us. I was their babysitter. I got locked in a closet. You might remember that. That show has a huge following. I've been surprised. I'll get messages from people who are like, I was watching TV and you popped up. I was on Netflix's American Vandal. I was in a Paramount Plus movie called Fantasy Football, and I was just in a horror movie that was in theaters, which was cool, called Skill House. So that should be hitting streaming.
I was going to say, I was looking forward to that one. I'm not a huge fan of the genre, but the rest of my family is.
Oh, cool.
So they're always like trying to find another cool horror movie, and I'm just like, I might have one for you. I'm
like scared, of horror movies, and then I was like, I told people before going to this, I'm like, this one's not gory, and then I go in, like the teenage girls behind me are like scared, and I'm like, like my mom and I were scaredy cats, so I was like, but I think because having read the script before, I knew everything to expect. But I've been told a lot, like the plot isn't scary, but the kills are like gory.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of gore, I guess.
It's a hugely popular offering right now. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, it's so funny. Like when I was doing some research, the character that you played on Love Victor, I saw it described as adorkable, and I was like, oh no! Like if I were you, I'd be like, you stop that right now.
It's adorable and dorky.
Yeah.
That's probably. I mean, I've been called that myself, and I'm like, I'll take it. It's half nice, right?
Well, there is also that kind of, again, that we talked about a little bit before, like the nerdy aspect is actually becoming highly attractive.
Yeah.
Like just simply being something that we're not necessarily avoiding anymore.
Yeah,
which is great.
There's a lot of bad things to the internet, but one of the good things is that there are so many like niches and things out there that you can find a whole community and surrounding anything, and that's, I think, cool for people. I think it's dangerous for kids too, but
there's no guardrails, but there is also access like never before.
Yeah, there is good things because there are kids that like they don't have any friends in their hometown, but they find people online who like the same things they do.
Absolutely, happens all the time. But what can we help promote before we have you play?
I just had a song come out last month.
I'll bring up your site. I don't know if that's going to be help us tell that story or not, but
my site's a little outdated. I need to work on that.
But you can come to AbigailFierce.com. Abigail Kilmeyer is the more actress version.
Yes,
of your personality.
Well, I'm trying to merge them.
No, I gotcha.
My Instagram and TikTok are at AK Fierce. Everything up to date is on there. And then I have a link tree in my bio that has links to everything. You can find my music, which is on all streaming platforms, and anything you want to know about my acting either.
Right.
But I just had a song come out called 14 Cigarettes. So kind of promoting that one right now. It's probably not on the website.
It's totally fine. I just want to give people to get access to it.
Yeah, right. Maybe go to linktree.com/AKFierce. And that's just a bunch of links, so you might not want to. Maybe go to Instagram.
Okay, let's go to Instagram.
That's just more like a visual portfolio.
Yes, a visual cornucopia.
There you go.
Search.
AK
Fierce.
Yeah, it's got everything. You can probably see the new album cover down there. Oh, we went to Sundance for the new movie. That was cool.
Sassy video right
Sassy video. Cyndi Lauper reposted that. I was playing her song. That was
that's
really
awesome.
Cool. That was really fun. Yeah,
that's got to be amazing. Here's the I'm playing at Musikfest deal.
There's more about the Skill House. Skill House. I have my fake hatchet.
This is awesome. It's a great photo. There's 14.
There's the album cover too. Well, not that one, but that was a contender in the album cover.
There you go.
Yeah.
So give it a follow.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will stop sharing because now you said you could perform something, and then we got to get you off to the stages. But I'm going to hop out of here. I say every time, no one wants to watch me, watch you. So.
Okay, so let's see. Maybe I might move to your seat. I don't know
sure. Whatever you need to do.
It's a better maybe visual for the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, Abigail Fierce.
There we go. Pop that over a little bit. All right, there we go. This song is called I Just Want to Feel Okay Again. It's about my experiences with anxiety and depression, but it's also about grief, and it's kind of about whatever you want it to be. I just wanna feel okay again. I just wanna feel like I haven't been drowning in the bottomless pit that is my soul, with a hive of bees buzzing in my skull. And I just wanna feel okay again. I just wanna feel like I haven't been these days. I just wanna know how long it'll take to feel drowning in the bottomless pit that is my soul, with a hive of bees buzzing in my. I just wanna feel okay again. Yeah, I just wanna feel like I haven't been drowning in the bottomless pit that is my soul, with a hive of bees buzzing in my skull. I just wanna feel okay again. Yeah, I just wanna feel like I haven't been these days. appreciate it.
Outstanding. Wonderful, wonderful. And again, we talked about it a little bit before you came on, but yes, let's put that out of the way again. It's a theme that often comes up on our show, and we've not avoiding it. We embrace it, and in fact, built a whole kind of event called Listen to the Dissonance that's built around the conversation of mental health. And so thank you for playing that song.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I had a guy come up to me after a show a couple months ago and say, you know, like, that he loved the song and blah, blah, blah. And he was talking about how, like, depression and anxiety, like, we talk about it like it's this big mental illness. And, you know, for some it is, but at the same time, everyone experiences something like that at some point in their life. So it doesn't need to be so taboo
stigmatized, yes,
and
absolutely.
weird, you know? It's just kind of normal to be sad in the world that we're living in now.
And in fact, that's what we say. We're like, we're not thinking we have anything figured out. We don't think we're fixing anything. We just simply want to create, like, if on one day at a minimum, it's safe to use those
safe
words.
Space,
and not have to whisper it or whatever, or acknowledge, like, maybe even a step further of suicidal thoughts or drug abuse, like those types of things where it's like, and have had people come up and say, well, your story is what made the inspiration happen, as I saw and witnessed that happen more than once, where waiting in line to talk to a musician and somebody comes up and says, hey, when you shared that story and played that song, like, it really and now that is a song they turn to in a time of struggle.
And it's such a,
And I was like, oh, let's do a show like that. Like, let's just make that happen. But I've had people come up to me and say, hey, because of that event, I realized I needed help, and I'm now, I see a therapist and I'm on medication, and actually it's really helping me. And it's like, just even that one moment, I was just like, holy smokes, this is like super humbling.
You don't have to be miserable.
You don't have to.
It's kind of just something that's so, I don't know, you know?
Right.
It's been
or it's
normalized.
not your fault. Like, that's the other part too. Is sometimes it's like, oh, it's my fault that I'm here. It's like, well, no, if it's unavoidable, then there's help. There's help.
Exactly,
there's assistance available. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for the convo and for coming all this way and inserting this into your busy day. But let's get you off to the Platzes. Once again, she'll be performing at 5 p.m. at Lagerplatz, which is under the bridge.
North side.
Martin
guitar stage. It's kind of cold
too.
Yep,
absolutely. Kind of near Festplatz. And then 7 p.m. Lyricplatz. That's in the cinemas. So that's nice and inside and air conditioned.
Air conditioned in the Arts Quest building. Yes, that's a plus.
Okay, cool. And so, yeah, absolutely. And I'll see you down at the festival. And we're going to now bring on to the show. Yes.
All right.
Hilary and Mike from Bellwether Ritual. So come on in, and another performer who's performing later today. Love it. So appreciate people willing to spend time with me when you're also going to be performing later today. This may be one of the most drastic transitions of genre in the history of my show, for sure, but maybe in the human race.
Yeah, glad to be a part of it.
We might be a Celtic punk or a Celtic band.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, you never know.
You missed the Shamrock on our Instagram.
And so we're going to play that in a second, but hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you both
doing? Well. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Stoked to be here.
Yeah, for sure. And so if you don't mind, do some intros and maybe even intro the rest of the band members who are not present.
Sure. My name's Mike. I play guitar and sing in the band, and this is Hilary.
Hilary, I play bass, sing backup vocals, and MIA today are Steve, our lead guitarist, and Brenton, our drummer / producer extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. So cool, yeah. And then I figured that would be cool to do in the. Bye, Abigail. I'll see you later. Thank you.
Great job.
Side note.
Do it.
Can I just say that she won the name lottery with Abigail Fierce?
Yeah, right. Isn't that cool?
I mean, I know she has the acting name and everything, but I'm like.
It's
Hilary Brown, underwhelming. Now you need to do some work.
Just go to find adjectives for that are like fierce.
There's got to be some AI name generator.
It probably is that too, yeah. But no, I agree. I was like, that's why I was like Abigail Fierce. But you hear the picks once again. Bellwether Ritual is on there. I also want to point out, just in case people, weather not spelled like the outside weather.
Yes.
And in my research, learned that a wether is a castrated ram.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. It's also what they would hang the bell off of, the front ramp. To lead the rest of the sheep.
Yeah, and then they would let them go, like, I guess all winter or something like that. And then the shepherd would go find the flock, or maybe if they just let them walk around for food or whatever. So yeah, the Bellwether was this ram that was like amongst the sheep so that they could then find them.
Yep.
And it's typically a leader, so you guys are leaders.
Sure, we'll go with that. And then we also have the ritual side, which to me is like it's a ritual when we get together and perform music and play with each other, and then take that in front of a stage and have that ritual with the rest of the audience.
No, it's awesome. It's so cool. Great name and awesome music. I mean, again, it's something that is, you don't hear this sound very often. So let's bring it in so people can hear it. Here's their track called "The Fall" by Bellwether Ritual. One of my favorite things to watch the musician like kind of bebop to their own music. It's
a catchy tune.
It is. It's fantastic.
It's really his handiwork. At the infancy stages of it, he definitely was behind the inspiration of the whole thing.
So. Super cool. Yeah. Anything else you can tell us about the track, or?
You were talking about mental health before with Abigail, and I think it kind of came from a spot, just being in a low spot. I usually say, it's about autumn and stuff like that, but not really. It's
See, this is the interesting part, is a lot of musicians will tell you a story, but once you create the safe space, they're like, all right, I'm going to now tell you what the song is really about. It's so interesting that just happened.
Yeah, and for us, I don't know, I can't speak for Hilary, but what I really love is to hear what other people think the song is about, because that's kind of the gift they can give back to us, just telling us what they think. But all that said, maybe realizing you're your own worst enemy, and I don't know, just being in a low spot and throwing out a Hail Mary prayer or that kind of thing, and just to hopefully rise back up from that.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, sure.
And then the whole branding of the whole thing, so not just the music, but the name, like we talked about, even these videos. This happens to be a lyric video because I loved this song and I was like, wanted to play this one. But like the font, everything is just so on brand, which is great. So like, I think that's also highly admirable from what you guys are putting out there.
Oh, thank you. That we do talk about that a lot. Hilary is in marketing. I do marketing as well, so
we do a lot of shop talk about all things branding. And
if we were your own client, I would recommend this.
Yeah, it's kind of strange to like have to do that for yourself too, because your personal. Your feelings really get wrapped up in
Absolutely.
it. So
it becomes, because actually people have said that to me. They're like, you should do this, and I'm just like, no. And it's like too precious to me. But after a while, you let it sink in, and you're like, yeah, that's probably good advice.
Yeah, it's weird. You got to put kind of those feelings aside sometimes, or hear feedback that you might not. Everyone's got a different perspective, so you have to take all that into consideration.
I think that's what's so cool about this is at the end of the day, this really brings in a lot of the unique perspectives. I mean, we have some similar influences, but we also have some pretty disparate influences.
Sure.
And so to see that come to fruition, I think that was kind of the culmination of all of those big discussions and merging all of those things together, because I think we just come from such interesting places musically, and it's interesting to see the intersection, which is you can see it on that song
where it lands. Absolutely, yeah. And the sound I just think is so cool. Like it's vocally and sonically, there's a little bit of, for me at least, Alice in Chains in there.
Definitely.
But harder, like more like if the Deftones and Alice in Chains went together.
And then Hilary joining was kind of like opened up a whole nother part of what we are, because she's very Doom influenced, like heavy Black Sabbath influence, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Right.
We're going to be actually going to I don't know if you want to spill the tea a little bit on the set tonight, but we'll be honoring that a little bit.
Fantastic.
Tonight. Yeah,
the sweet cool. Tea.
Yeah. So,
spoiler alert.
There you go. Yeah. So she just came in.
No, I think actually that'll be like if anybody is into that, I think they would be more inclined to make sure they're down there for it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And we appreciate anyone. It's like we were talking about before. I thought you spun it well. It's a end of the night kind of nightcap. So yeah, we appreciate anyone who comes down.
Absolutely.
After hours, baby. And who doesn't want to walk around with a giant 2-liter mug around their neck at 11 o'clock at night, right. Full of Yingling.
Exactly
That's
right.
That's what I do with my Monday nights every week. So.
Oh, but like Monday of Musikfest is such a wonderful little treat. It's typically a little bit less crowded, because the Fridays and the Saturdays and even the Sundays draw a lot of people who are not interested in the music. So they're just clogging up the food tents and the pathways you can't get around. And I said, I thought this was a great idea. We added sober Platz this year. So that's really great. What I have been long asking for is I'm not here for the music Platz. Give them something interesting to go over there and hang out and get out of my way. Because I have some limited time to get from this Platz to that Platz. And you're just making it to... Anyway, now I sound like a grumpy old man. But really, it just has to do with, I love that you're here and you're enjoying this and whatnot. But if you have no interest in the music, don't be near the stages. Just... go anyway. The point is I really wish that we had that because
it's got to be a railroad museum or something around that thing.
But yeah, it's just an interesting thing. But that 11 o'clock time slot, they often are putting such interesting music on there that I'm always like, can I pace myself enough to make it to 12:30?
I heard you talking about that before. It is really important to pace yourself. I used to work with for Arts Quest. Hilary's on one of the boards there, so we kind of see both sides. And I've worked many a Musikfest, and that is a really important part of it.
Totally.
It's and I love that you went through the schedules too, because I think there's a lot of things. The app is great. You can kind of build your own schedule.
Absolutely. The app was a game changer. The year that came out, I was like, my God, that is just brilliant. And I love that actually if you turn it so that it's landscape instead of portrait, it actually gives you all the stages left to right, and it almost looks like it's your Outlook calendar. So that you can actually see what I was talking about. Where do I have either overlap or a small window of time to go from, if it's important for me to see both, how do I navigate?
I was going to say, it makes things, it's so much to digest.
Yes.
Having just moved here a few years ago and seeing my first Musikfest before I joined the board and looking at the list, I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what to make of this.
I meant to bring this up. But this is my buddy who's coming in. He's from Dallas, and he's coming into town Thursday. He planned for 4 days this year, which I just love. But he has the printed sheets with highlighted. I won't be able to show it on there. I need to bring it up into the thing.
It's like the racetrack. You gotta
exactly
pencil
right.
in your
He's
picks.
basically handicapping which ones we're gonna get to, and then also pulling up a Spotify playlist to listen to the bands and so on. So it's just really funny to me that he's taking it as seriously as I hoped he would.
I'm a consummate wanderer, though. I don't even like to make an agenda. I just kind of like to.
So I tell the story a lot, so forgive me. But the thing that happened was the first year I ever went all 10, more than 2 days. I was just really embracing the festival and saying I'm going to probably go down all 10 days. And I meandered to this one stage, and there's this dude with a piano on fire. The band is all doing some big extended solo. He goes out into the crowd, back up in. He's surfing on top of this amazing thing. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And he goes, boom, thank you, good night. And I'm like, ah! I was like, no. Yeah. And so I just swore at that point. I was like, I need to at least have a minimal understanding of what's out there so that I don't let that happen every day.
Yeah. You don't
so
want to miss out.
If there's somebody who is a can't miss, I want to know about it. Now, I then went way overboard and turned it into a whole show. But
which we appreciate.
But anyway, that was it. It was I just don't want to miss the 60 to 90 minutes of just absolute fever dream of whatever that was. Turned out it was Low Cut Connie.
Love.
Exactly.
Awesome. Yeah.
So had I known it, I would have definitely been there for the whole thing.
He's a local.
Yeah.
I feel
I've since seen him probably 5 times, but
They're
in that
awesome.
moment, it would have been the first time, because this was probably 2015. I think he was just added to the Barack Obama playlist. He was starting to just absolutely take off. Yeah. Yeah, it's a wonderful show. So people definitely need to see it. But
yeah, what's great about the Arts Quest Center too is those bands come back.
They do come back often, especially if they're regional, like he's Philly, and Philly. People from New York or New England or whatever can come back through even more easily than somebody who's got to be on somewhat of a national tour. But yeah, I mean, let's have a moment here to just learn about both of your backstories. Like, where did let's start with you, Hilary. Where did you start with music and then maybe navigate it into this more doom bass type angle of things?
I grew up in a family of musicians. My dad's a musician, definitely my number one musical inspiration. My brother's a working musician in New Orleans. I just went down to visit him. Had never been to New Orleans, by the way.
It's like awesome city.
Shameless plug for New Orleans.
There
it's just badass. And self-taught musician. I started on the piano, and like my roots are very much in all things, I would say, 60s. Which you can pick up in some of the vocal arrangements that we work on. Like, I'm just a Pet Sounds girl through and through, and just like layers on layers and layers of vocals. So I'm obsessed with that. I think just as I started getting into heavier music, I like I said, started with like mid 60s stuff, and then I kind of found Deep Purple, and lo and behold, I found Black Sabbath, which is my favorite band. And I think that just kind of opened up all the different sects of metal. I like fell into like big punk and metal scene when I eventually moved to Chicago. But in terms of the bass, I dabbled a little bit in guitar, and I saw on Craigslist they were hiring this bass player. Hadn't played a lick of bass in my life, and I was like, let me try this. And so that was 25 years ago, and I think we were talking to somebody about bass before, but it's like when you find your instrument, when you find the bass, you really you know it's your groove. It's a rare breed of person that becomes a bass player.
No, you're right.
So from there, dabbled a little bit in a bunch of different genres, but my heart is very much in
drums. Seems to be the similar thing where like most people who were these killer drummers, they're like, I was like 4 years old and I was obsessed with it. Just the aesthetic of the drum kit was what drew them to it. And it's like, well, there's very clearly a old soul who was a former drummer in you, like, because otherwise why would a 4-year-old care about that?
I mean, it's a big commitment, and it does make a lot of noise.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. But I think same thing, bass or just any instrument, whatever, like you are so drawn to it, it's like it was just what you were born to do.
Yeah, and I'd say on the other side of that too, I have a journalism background, and so I started my career. I mean, I'm in the music career, but started as a music journalist, and so I really just enjoyed hearing and sharing stories with the musicians themselves, just as you're doing. So it's interesting to be on the other side of the microphone.
Oh, that is cool. And we're going to come back to another question, but let's hear how your journey went.
I was born and raised in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Excellent.
And I was lucky enough my first real concert was Nirvana up at Stabler Arena.
Wow.
Yeah, which is totally mind-blowing
to
a young kid. So that kind of really changed my trajectory. I was I still like sports, but I was, came up playing baseball and that sort of thing. And then instantly it was like, this is what I want to do.
Right.
So actually started off on bass because I mistook the beginning of one of their songs to be bass when it was actually guitar. I forget what song it was, but I was like, I want to do that. So I started on bass, moved down to Philadelphia for 7 years, played in bands, all sorts of bands down there, like post-rock bands, country bands, all that sort of thing. And then kind of got tired of dealing with lead singers and guitar players, waiting for them to show up and all that kind of stuff. I've always played guitar as well, so I just kind of migrated into more of the songwriting aspect of it, and that to me, that came more naturally on guitar. So switched to that, had to come back to the Valley for some family issues, and that's when I got started at Arts Quest. So just kind of like, oh, maybe I should just stick around. And Musikfest has always been such a great, I mean, growing up, it was amazing. I lived right down the street on 15th Avenue. So I was able to walk down. I would fall asleep at night to,
the sounds of
bands.
it. Yeah.
So it's always been a part of my life, and had the opportunity to, do work for them and be on that side too. So it was really interesting. Met random musicians and people, got to stand in the pit for some really interesting bands. Yeah, good stuff. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then navigating to performing this genre of music, how did that happen?
Okay, so this band has already been through a lot of eras. I would say this is probably our third-ish era.
Yeah.
So it did start off, like if you go back and listen to our earlier EPs, you're like, wow, that's a pretty big jump. So I would say I kind of quit music for 5 or 6 years because I was just kind of burned out on it. I was like, I'm going to actually have a career and move that forward, and didn't get a lot of nothing. I didn't get good feelings out of that. So I went back when COVID hit and all that kind of stuff, and picked up the guitar again, and found some people. Started off on more of like maybe a grungier side of things, and then as new people came into the band, they bring in all these great influences and ideas, and just to try to keep up with everything and not get in the way of it, just let it happen. And Hilary came in 2 years ago, and then Steve came in last year, and she brought more of the doom, slow everything down, a lot of the harmonies and stuff like that, and then Steve brings maybe a little bit more of a metal edge with guitar harmonies and things like that. So yeah, just kind of following the muse at this point.
That's so cool. And that was actually going to be my other question: is you moved to the area, and then you find this band. Like, how did that? Like, did you, like, your ears go like, yes, this is perfect? Or like, how did that all navigate?
Yeah. I mean, again, the good old-fashioned way. We found it on Craigslist.
That is so funny.
But I think, suffice it to say, I work in the music industry still, and it's interesting because it's harder to find a band in a sea of musicians than you think, and so I was just...
they're in like 3 different projects already.
Right. And so, I was really seeking a creative outlet, definitely trying to find some friends around here and just find that camaraderie, and lo and behold, just stumbled on it. I was just like, I guess I'll go on the community page like I did back when I was 18, and they were holding auditions. I was pretty nervous, but I don't know, just had a good feeling. And I think Mike and I share a lot of influences, and having looked at the ad, it was things like Alice in Chains. There's a band called Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, Sleep, Mastodon. So very similar. And I think that's definitely where we share a lot of the same kind of cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. That's so cool. And then, so we have talked about that. Tonight is at 11 p.m. Anything else we can help promote after the festival, or whether it's music or performances or anything like that? I'm gonna bring up your. Let me just double check that I have this up here. Yes. So let's bring up the website, or anything else you want me to do.
Yeah. That's bellwetherritual.com. We have a show in Staten Island on August 22nd at Mother Pugs, and we just started recording our first full length. So that's super exciting.
That is exciting.
Oh yeah, and what I'm most excited about is Hilary's influence is really stepping to the forefront. She's I don't want to say lead vocals on some of the songs now too, which is great.
A little bit.
Yeah,
that was always smattering.
Yeah, that was always something I was really interested in too. Like that band she mentioned before, Mastodon. They don't really have a quote-unquote lead singer. It's kind of shared amongst the guys. So
yeah, we definitely have, I think, like kind of a Baroness vibe. I don't know if you've heard it.
Oh, that's a good one too. That's probably even better.
Yeah, they but totally agree. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be a concept album. We're working through it right now. It's definitely a labor of love. So looking forward to getting out on the other side of that.
Doom wop. I love that.
You'll hear it tonight.
There you go.
Drink your coffee and get there at 11, folks.
But yeah, bellwetherritual.com. And then we always, you can see there, not only get the information, but you can also visit the shop. Always the best way to support the musicians is merch, ticket sales. Obviously, this is a free festival, so support it with the merch.
All the socials, too.
Just following on the socials, and then, just showing up at the other events, especially when there's tickets. So, thank you so much for both coming on the show.
Hey, thank you. We also did a live stream for 2 years. We did about 80 or so episodes, and we know how hard it is. So we really appreciate you having us on.
That was Mike's baby.
This is so much easier to be on this.
Right. Oh yeah, no, I totally get it. But I do love doing it. It's something that I really get a kick out of. Like, in fact, some friends of mine were like, "Do you regret setting up this show during the week because now you're cutting?" And I'm like, "No, actually, I look forward to this part." Yeah. Even if not more so than the rest. Obviously, it's awesome to go down and get to see the live music every day, and eat awesome food and stuff, like the whole vibe, obviously. But like, there's an element to this that I really love, especially like for moments like this to get to meet the two of you and Abigail, and then everything like the whole Gadan thing tomorrow. Like, I can't believe if that actually does all come together, because I probably have an email to either let me know one way or the other.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one.
I just can't wait. Yeah, and then to get this, so the reason why I wanted to separate them is I already had scheduled Jenny Founds from Ruby Deer, Mike Roy from Roy and the Secret People. And then Bo Coltnell from our news station, WFMZ, was like, hey, we want to come down and shoot some of it, and I'll pop in on the show. So I was like, I already had 3 guests when I normally only can do 2. And then I got this insane opportunity to basically interview the 5 dudes from Gadan. And I was like, we got to make this happen. And I couldn't try and shoehorn it into the hour that was going to be this other episode, and I was just like, let's just do a whole second hour just dedicated to them, or 45, whatever it is. But point is, like, that's the insanity of this weekend. It's just such a magical week. It's like Shangri-La or Brigadoon or something like that, where it's just a fever dream. Anyway, thank you so much for doing this. Can't wait to see the live performance, and I'll see you all down at the Platzes.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.